1954, Don saved enough money to purchase his own business, the 101 Club in Las Vegas. 10 years later, Don set out in search of a new challenge. While flying over the desert, his private plane came across this big-boat, 8-room motel and restaurant on 6.5 acres of land. He paid $235,000 for it. It originally had opened in 1946 as the Edgewater Lodge. When Don opened it in August of 1966, all-you-can-eat chicken was only 98 cents. Along with him, bought 12 slot machines, 2 gaming tables, and he and his family occupied 4 of the 8 rooms of that hotel. You're looking at one man's dream come true. Today, Don has over 1,350 hotel and executive rooms. He has Laughlin's tallest tower, is 28 stories out, and an RV park across the street delivers 740 spaces. He has a 6-plex movie theater showing first-run movies, 34-lane bowling center, weekly top-name entertainment and non-celebrity theater, hot nightclub known as Loser's Lounge. You haven't joined the King of Clubs Players Club yet, please do. In 1991, Don Laughlin was inducted into the Gambling Hall of Fame. In fall of 1993, he purchased the Crystal Palace, which was the 3rd casino to be built in Laughlin, located across the street from the Aquarius, formerly known as the Flamingo Hilton, and is adjacent to Don's RV. Don Laughlin is also acknowledged as a civic leader. He paid $9 million toward the airport expansion project, along with the Federal Aviation Administration, who also helped fund the project. The $22 million Laughlin-Willett City International Airport is now ready to accept 737s. The Aquarius originally opened in August of 1990 as the Flamingo Hilton, with 2,000 rooms and is Laughlin's largest hotel. To give you an idea of how the price of property has gone up, the Binion family, who owns the Binion Horseshoe in Las Vegas, paid $4 million for 19.5 acres in 1980. In 1988, they sold it to the Hilton Corporation for $27 million. That's a $23 million profit in 8 years. Not a bad real estate deal. The Regency, a little casino just this side of the Edgewater Tower, was the 5th casino to be built in Laughlin. It opened in 1978. They have no hotel or boat service, but it is the only other privately owned casino in Laughlin other than the Riverside Resort. The Edgewater was built in 1979. It initially ran into licensing difficulties when the Nevada Gaming Control Board raised concerns about alleged connections between some partners in the ownership group and members of the Detroit crime family. The rest of the group was forced to buy out their shares. In 1983, Circus bought it and added a 450-room motel on the west side and added a race and sports book in the south end. They also built this 26-story tower. In January 2019, Golden Entertainment bought the Edgewater and the Colorado Bell from Marnell Third and Share Gaming for $190 million. If you look at the top of the Edgewater here, you'll notice a balcony. They built a suite up there for a lady named Mrs. Lafferty. But I'm going to save the rest of Mrs. Lafferty's story for you for the trip back upstream. In 1983, Circus bought a small casino called the Colorado Bell, located next to the Regency, where the Edgewater Tower is located today. They bought all the properties south of the Edgewater, tore that small casino down, and built the Showboat of Laughlin. They opened in July of 1987 with 5 restaurants and 1,236 rooms. It took $100 million to build this Showboat, and they said they had their money back in 3 years. Sadly, the Showboat of Laughlin closed its doors in March of 2020 during the pandemic and hasn't reopened. It remains closed indefinitely at this time with no real word of what its future holds. They didn't have boats its size over here on the Colorado River. The first steamboat on the Colorado River was the Uncle Sam. The Uncle Sam launched in 1852 by James Turnbull, who had been awarded a contract to supply goods to Fort Yuma. When the Uncle Sam sank, the contract was given to George Alonzo Johnson. In 1854, Johnson purchased the General Jessup. The General Jessup was also a side wheeler, 104 feet long with a more powerful engine. And that That survived until 1859, when it was dismantled. The General Jessup was the steamboat that helped Lieutenant Beale get his camels across the river. As we go by the stern of the Colorado Valley, and you look over across the way, you'll see the only casino built on the wrong side of Casino Drive. The Tropicana Express was originally opened as the Ramada Express with an 1890s railroad entry. They opened in June of 1988 with 4 restaurants and 406 rooms. In September of 1993, they completed that 20-story tower, giving themselves an additional 1,095 rooms. Today, it is owned by Caesars Entertainment. The Pioneer, opened in 1977 as the Colorado Club, was the 4th casino to be built in Laughlin. It is known for its neon cigarette puffing River Rick marquee. River Rick is the name of the neon sign that resembles a cowboy and was erected at the Pioneer Hotel and Gambling Hall in 1981. He's also referred to as Laughlin Lou, although the hotel itself calls him River Rick. When Margaret Ilardi, owner of the Pioneer Club in Las Vegas, bought the Pioneer Club Laughlin in 1981, she commissioned the River Rick neon sign to be built, which was almost an exact copy of Vegas Vic found at the Pioneer Club in Las Vegas at a cost of $1.5 million. It closed for refurbishment and changed hands in 2018, reopening as the New Pioneer, the friendliest house on the river. It is owned by the New Pioneer, LLC. The Golden Nugget opened in